Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the UAE Ministry of Economy and the annual investment meeting, we would now like to welcome His Excellency Amir Peretz, who is the Minister of Economy and Industry and member of the Knesset from the State of Israel, who will be delivering a short keynote on innovation. Your Excellency, the stage is now yours.
Shalom. Salam alaikum. Allah yatikum al-afiyah. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As Minister of Economy and Industry of the State of Israel, I would like to thank His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President and Prime Minister of the United Arab Emirates, the ruler of the Emirate of Dubai, and the patron of the annual investment meeting. And I would like to thank in person the Minister of Economy, His Excellency Abdullah bin Tuk Al Mari, for inviting me to open this seat at the 10th annual investment meeting, which is being held for the first time virtually this year. The historical normalization agreement between the State of Israel and the United Arab Emirates, signed in September this year, opened the gate to political, economic, and business cooperation not only between the countries, but throughout the Middle East. I hope that the normalization agreement with the Kingdom of Bahrain, which follows the United Arab Emirates, is the forerunner of other agreements. Distinguished guests, I was invited to talk to you about innovation. People tend to mistake and think that innovation comes down to creating a new product or advanced technology. But for me, the real innovation is our ability to change reality rather than manage it. Innovation is our choice not to be afraid and to strive for peace, even in times when it seems distant and impossible. Innovation is the ability to dream, to initiate each one of us in his own area and make the dream come true. I believe that a person who stops dreaming is considered to be a dead man, and you are people who never stop dreaming, who are never afraid to make your dreams come true, and stand in the front of technology and business. Ladies and gentlemen, the State of Israel and the United Arab Emirates share many things in common. We are both young countries in the Middle East. We are both export-oriented economies, which are open to international trade with the rest of the world. And of course, we both face many challenges of desert climate and water shortages. Israel has earned the nickname Startup Nation, thanks to Israeli developments and technologies. And I am pleased that each person in the world has the opportunity to benefit from Israeli developments, from the cherry tomatoes in salad, through ways that takes people to their destination and more. They say that necessity leads to innovation. Israel faces many challenges that require the encouragement of technologies development. Due to water shortage, Israel had to develop advanced technologies in water desalination. By doing that, we can supply enough water to meet the Israeli needs and to supply water to Jordan, Egypt, and Palestinian Authority, as well as set in the peace agreement. But the biggest challenge that brings us to a technological peak is the security challenge, where we face the debate between experts and leaders and risk management dilemmas. I have experienced this dilemma. I live with my family in Sderot, a small town near the Gaza border that since 2001 has been attacked by missiles coming from Gaza. It takes these missiles only 30 seconds from their launch until they hit the ground and explode. In 2006, I served as Minister of Defense, and I demanded to make a conceptual change. Instead of developing more offensive tools, I asked for the development of the defensive tool. Moreover, I demanded the adoption of a proposal by researchers at one of the Israeli companies who presented a revolutionary system. This system is capable of detecting the launch of a missile, locating its trajectory, and destroying it before it hits the ground in less than 30 seconds. The whole defense establishment system was against my decision. The army chiefs, most of the cabinet ministers, and most of the military journalists. But I decided to go against the flow and give a chance to what looked like science fiction that has become a system called Iron Dome, and it is a key element in protecting the citizen of Israel. Iron Dome allows, on one hand, having routing lives in conflict zones, while on the other hand, it makes our enemies realize that they can achieve more from negotiation rather than continue the unnecessary round of violence. Ladies and gentlemen, I started my political life after finishing my military service as an officer. During my service, I was severely injured and had to stay in the hospital for 2 years. After I was released from the hospital, I swore that the next war I want to take part in would be the war for peace. Distinguished guests, COVID-19 has brought many negative impacts, but we can also look at things from a positive perspective. The pandemic has forced us to think in new ways. We understand that more solidarity is required, more cooperative thinking is needed, and a wider multinational share of knowledge among as many countries as possible is vital. The world is divided by political and national borders, but COVID-19 does not distinguish between race, gender, countries, or nations, and therefore has no borders. Excellencies, I have received recently much information about the technological achievement of the United Arab Emirates. I am convinced that together we can create joint power, a bridge to the global innovation and to international technological cooperation. I would like to thank again the Minister of Economy, His Excellency Abdallah bin Tuq Al Mari, and the organizers of the event. I am looking forward to and excited toward the possibility of physically visiting the United Arab Emirates very soon, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for such a wonderful keynote and for your great insights on innovation. Please stay tuned with us as we have an exciting fireside session with the CEO of Talabat, which will be coming up shortly. Dear attendees, if you have any questions, please feel free to post your questions on the video wall. We will share with our speakers and they will reply to you directly or through email. If you'd like to connect with our speakers, please move to the home lobby page. You will find the speakers by typing their names under Networking tab on the right hand of your screen. We welcome our audience to interact with each other on our chat wall. Please also do not forget to tag us on our social media handles with the hashtag AIMDigital.